มีเชื้อมันก็ดูดกันอยู่เกาะกันอยู่ด้วยกันดังนั้นก็ต้องสรุปเรื่อยๆ
You have to make conclusion constantly. Have the great compassion. Discard the discarding itself constantly. So it dissolves yourself when you're trying to go back and focus on yourself and try to hold on something. If you use discard the discarding itself, it will be together with the samsara. Don't separate. Don't separate yourself from the samsara. Can't focus on anything. Dissolve the focus constantly. So use everything, not grasping, the non-grasping itself. Until everything and not grasping, the non-grasping itself become one thing. Discard the discarding itself, and all things become one. That is great compassion to help samsara. Don't have to separate, discarding from anything. It will be in harmony with the samsara. Don't have to separate anything from anything. Mind to mind itself, don't have to separate anything from anything. The total extinction, the absolute extinction will help clear the samsara. Be one with the samsara, not grasping. The non-grasping itself with the samsara become one. So it helps release and liberate the samsara together. Don't try to separate from anything. Discard the discarding itself. It doesn't mean you discard anything. Discard the discarding itself. It ends all actions of trying to discard anything. It dissolves the discarding itself. Not grasping, the non-grasping itself is the same. It will end on your attempt to try to not grasping onto anything. Not grasping, the non-grasping itself dissolved on action of trying to not grasp onto anything. Use these sentences together with the samsara, not trying to separate from the samsara. Don't try to be liberated from the samsara, but you are liberated and help the samsara to be liberated together at once. Don't be liberated and separate yourself from the samsara. Use these reminders. These are the reminders of great compassion. You cannot separate yourself from anything. You cannot free yourself from anything. Let go of the letting go itself. So from not grasping the non-grasping itself, it's together with everything, with the samsara. It's the samsara of focus, of concentration at things. Give up. The giving up itself. Be one with the samsara. Give up the giving up itself, not to give up anything, but give up the giving up itself and do it with the samsara together. That way, it will become the land of the Buddhas. This samsara will become land of the Buddhas. It will become great Puttha Kaset, or the great land of the Buddhas. No separation between arahants and sentient beings. No separation between Nibbāna and samsara. No separations. It will become great land of the Buddhas. So dissolve and eliminate all beliefs on your opinions of trying to be liberated for yourself. Have great compassion with everything. Everything, let go of the letting go itself. Refrain from refraining itself, not to refrain from anything. So you refrain from your attempt of trying to refrain from something. If you keep on trying to refrain from things, you have conflict with the samsara. Mind to mind itself, from mind to mind itself together with everything, not from mind, not mind from anything. If you cannot stop the separation, you still suffer, you still feel uneasy. If you can't let go of the separation, you still suffer. If you can't stop having the separation, you cannot have great compassion. Not identify with the non-identification itself, not to disidentify with anything, but not identify with the non-identification itself. This will help you stop on the separation. So, to not identify with the non-identification itself, it will help you having separations from things. Be enlightened. Nibbāna, to help the samsara to be enlightened and be liberated. This is the essence of great compassion. The same as the Buddhas and all Maha Buddhas who are still presiding over, helping liberate the samsara. Don't separate liberation from the samsara. The Buddhas and Maha Buddhas on these Buddha times still helped liberate the samsara, help the samsara to end, so we cannot separate Nibbāna from samsara. We have to keep on, help the samsara to end, to be liberated. The Buddhas and all the Maha Buddhas still lead the samsara to end, to be liberated, timelessly. If you work, be among the work, not grasping, the non-grasping itself among your work. Do not separate. Do not separate vimutti from karma or karma difficulties. Your karmic difficulty in form of work or responsibility. Don't have to separate from it. Don't try to run away from it. not identified with the non-identification with all your work and responsibility. No separation from not grasping the non-grasping itself. Do it among on your work and responsibility. Whatever you are doing, sweeping, cleaning, use not identify with the non-identification. Use it among on your assumed body and mind, your work, your responsibility. Clear everything together. This is how you have great compassion and help samsara to be liberated. If you have separation, you still separate things from you, from Nibbāna, you have difficulties. Have great compassion together, not identify with the non-identification itself together with everything. Together with everything constantly. So it will help clear and dissolve your focus, your concentration on mindfulness meditation. It will clear your delusion in focusing at anything. It will help dissolve. So use everything, and it will help clear your delusion in trying to focus on things. It will help clear the existence of samsara. Everything together. Not identify with the non-identification. Make it happen with everything together. Do not separate anything from anything. Do not separate, not identify with anything. But to not identify with the non-identification, it helps not identifying for you. But you have to do it together with everything. That is how you be enlightened and realize Nibbāna and help liberate samsara on and on. Do not try to be liberated for oneself, for yourself, but help samsara to be liberated together from not identifying with the non-identification itself, from my to my itself. Make it together with everything. Do not separate anything from you. Do not separate anything from anything. Once you separate, you are deluded. Make it together. Together in a way that you help liberate together and end and release together. Simultaneously. Empty out simultaneously. That is how you do it together with everything without delusion. It is without delusion that you help the samsara together with you. This is to be complete with the essence of great compassion to help liberate the samsara constantly, on and on, timelessly. To mind itself, together with everything, from not identifying with the non-identification itself. Do not separate from work, from karmic difficulties that you have. It will happen simultaneously. Help cleanse and liberate together. Do not separate Nibbāna from your work and responsibility, from not attached to the non-attachment itself, together with everything with work and responsibility. That is how you realize Nibbāna and help liberate samsara. Do not separate Nibbāna from samsara. You feel uncomfortable and uneasy, not at ease, because you still separate.
ส